On this day in space, October 11th, 1968, the day NASA said, "We're back." After the Apollo 1 fire, it took 3 lives. NASA spent 21 months rebuilding everything: hardware, procedures, confidence. Then, at 11:02 a.m. Eastern, Apollo 7 roared off Pad 34 on a Saturn IB. It wasn't a moon mission. It was something just as hard, proving that Apollo could fly safely. Wally Schirra, Donn Eisele, Walter Cunningham. The 3 took the first crewed Apollo spacecraft into orbit. For 11 days, they stress-tested the command module, engine burns, docking maneuvers without a lander, systems checks on life support, systems checks on the heat shield. Here's the headline: Apollo 7 worked. And because it worked, every mission after it could exist. But it wasn't simple. A few hours in, the crew got hit with head colds, bad ones. In 0G, congestion doesn't drain. It just sits there. Schirra worried that blowing his nose during re-entry could rupture an eardrum if they wore helmets, so the crew pushed back against mission control. Famously blunt, sometimes contentious, they did the job, though meticulous, by the book, and occasionally on their own terms. Apollo 7 also gave us the first live TV from an American crew in space. From the lovely Apollo room, high atop everything, Schirra joked, unveiling a hand-drawn cue card. "Keep those cards and letters coming in, folks." Millions watched. The spacecraft wasn't just a machine anymore. It was a place we could visit together. Technically, the mission hit its marks. The service propulsion engine lit off multiple times, crucial for later lunar orbit insertions. Guidance, navigation, control, heat shield, and re-entry. Nominal splashdown in the Atlantic after 163 orbits. NASA got the green light for the next step: Apollo 8 to the moon on Christmas 1968. Think about that timeline. From disaster in January 67 to humans orbiting the moon less than 2 years later. Apollo 7 is the hinge. It's the moment the program shifted from trauma to momentum. And it's easy to overlook the human part. 3 people lived inside a tin can for a week and a half, while the world held its breath. They tested escape systems they hoped they'd never use. They risked sinus pain on re-entry rather than gamble with their ears. On this day, October 11th, 1968, we didn't land on the moon. We did something just as essential: we proved the path. Every footprint in lunar dust traces back to this launch, this crew, this test. One more cool note. October 11th shows up again in space history. In 1984, Catherine D. Sullivan became the first American woman to walk in space during shuttle mission STS-41G. Another kind of first step that widened the path Apollo opened. So yeah, today's a good day to remember that progress is built on quiet victories. Flawless tests, fixes you never hear about, and teams willing to say, "Not yet," until it's right. Apollo 7 made right possible, and because of that, the next giant leaps could actually happen. Happy October 11th. See you tomorrow.